So this is my copy of the report, Parliamentary Privileges report of 2013 to 14 by the Joint Committee on Privilege, right? So I had my own book printed up because it's quite a long paper. Not all Parliament papers are that long. So I had my own book made, and I don't read that quick, and the writing's actually quite a lot on each page in this book, so it took me a little while to read it. So I'm just going to give it's actually a bentcup.biz copy, as you can see. So it's got quite an interesting cover because I just made it because it's obviously because it's actually published as a book. I made it so it's a particular piece of evidence for my petition campaign. So just to say, this book, I'm not really happy with it. The report is misleading to the public. And ironically, all the principles in the book of contempt, the actual book itself is in contempt. Now, there is some valuable information in this book if you're learning about privilege, because the thing about eating a tin of beans is you end up spilling them everywhere, right? So they're trying to conceal the beans while they're spilling them everywhere, right? So they're in perpetual contradiction. You can't. They're desperately trying to undermine the rights and cover them up, particularly of the people and the extent of them, and trying to get their own control over them when sometimes it's not for them to control, particularly when it's in the law and legislation. But they're also fooling themselves. There's a lot of naive MPs who aren't that knowledgeable or experienced, and I think that Parliament likes to try and, almost like the whips like to get control of the members. They like to control them by deceiving them or tricking them, which is what happened to the privileges for criminal arrest. They're being completely undermined. I've found blatant lies in this book where they're trying to make out one statement of legislation is different when it's the worst thing in this book, the worst item, is they claim that Article 9 of the Bill of Rights is completely different wording, right? When that is actually merely a known statement or claim from a past member. A known statement or claim from a past member is not the legislation. When you entitle the legislation and say this is the law, right? And as if you're going to quote the law and then write not the law, that what somebody, just a comment or statement from a member, which is not the actual legislation. You know that you're dealing with very serious business, right? So I mean, and also they coin terms in here like wishful thinking. I actually stated that I think the MPs are doing wishful thinking when I'd never read that in a document before. And then miraculously in this book, I got to the page where they're saying wishful thinking, but they're doing it themselves. So this report is a collection of wishful thinkings. That there is truth in it, obviously, but the fact that they get to decide their own privileges in a way, and they've got a lot of remit themselves, gets them into that belief and attitude when it comes to, when they've got to tell the truth and when they're actually meant to be quoting and commenting on facts, and just overlooking and excluding a lot of things that help to clarify it, but they don't want it clarified. So that's my review of this. It's very disappointing standard and quality, and we've got problems with this government for sure.